Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. On this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answer they need from an employment attorney for free. So, like, subscribe, comment down below. It helps me to help more people just like you. Now, we have all of that out of the way. I'm very excited. Ooh, I just saw a video about workplace discrimination arbitration. I'm going to listen to that video to see if somebody's saying something wrong on the internet. I'm pretty sure they're not. I'm pretty sure that person knows what they're talking about. And I think it's going to be a good video. Maybe I'll even post it to the post up above. All right. We have a question here from YouTube user Horace, who I'm going to leave off some stuff there just so nobody can find, because I worry a lot of these names are real names. I know YouTube tries to force people to use their real names, but I don't love that you have to ask the question in your real name, because then I worry your employer could Google you and find the question, and that's not good. Horace asked us, what if you were asking to be reinstated during mediation? All right. That's an option. You can ask for that. That can work out. Here's why it's going to be extra work on your part. The employer, from the time you bring a workplace discrimination complaint or a workplace sexual harassment complaint, any negative thing they do to you will be viewed as retaliation. And retaliation opens up a third class of damages under the federal law called punitive damages. There's also a burden shifting aspect where the employer you can think of the employer as almost being guilty until proven innocent. It's not that simple, but that's a good way to think of it. And yes, sometimes I simplify things on this channel because you don't all do this for a living, and that makes sense. Also, sometimes it makes some of you angry. You're like, I can handle the real stuff. Yeah, totally. I'm sure you can. I'm not saying that all of you can't handle the real stuff. I'm saying that I'm talking to a lot of people who aren't employment attorneys, and sometimes I simplify things, and that's not a comment on anyone's ability. In the same way that I hope my brain surgeon, which I don't actually have, I don't have a brain surgeon, but if I had a brain surgeon, if I needed a brain surgeon, I would hope that they would simplify things for me so I could grasp the concepts and make informed decisions. So I'm sorry that me simplifying things bothers some of you, but I'm going to keep doing it. If you want the whole thing, if you want the totality of the law, if you want the quirks, the nuances, the subtle differences, if you want the logical underpinning of the case law, the citation, you know what you ought to do? Go to law school. This is a YouTube channel. What are you're not gonna pass the bar here. Although there are some bar passage YouTube channels that do a really good job helping people pass the bar. All right, Horace, the retaliation laws. This retaliation law is very meaningful in your situation where you're asking to be reinstated to your job, because presumably you've now complained of workplace discrimination, workplace sexual harassment. You're going to mediation, which means you filed the case. Or at the very least, when you filed the case, that would count as a protected activity, a complaint, which could then give rise to retaliation. Here's why your employer fears that. The employer can run around and give everyone a training teaching them not to retaliate against you. Great. Good start. Very smart on the employer's part. But for the next 3 years, they're going to be sweating it out. And they're going to be sweating it out because any idiot who does anything negative to you in the workplace, any negative workplace consequence, could give rise to a retaliation claim, not against that idiot, but against the employer. Because the employer is going to be liable in most situations for the actions of its employees, especially in the workplace. So any idiot who does something nasty to you, and they might only be nasty to you because you have a personal issue with them. Maybe they just hate you personally. That's not going to be a great argument for them. I mean, listen, if they can prove that, great, but they're going to have a tough time proving that. And that would be the employer's last chance to prove it wasn't retaliation, because you're going to allege, hey, this guy's going after me because I complained against the employer. And all of a sudden, they're going to be in a brand new case with punitive damages as a damages category, wide open, and a burden shifting where they might be viewed as guilty till proven innocent in a simplified sense. And so, Horace, you're going to see a lot of employers really reluctant to bring you back. And it's not necessarily because they don't value you. It's because they fear the way the law is structured. Now, that law is very important, and it's very valuable for a variety of reasons, so I'm not saying the law is structured incorrectly, but I am saying it puts your particular position in a bit of a box, a scary, scary box where everything is going to be terrifying to the employer if they give you what you want. There's a really good chance they're going to try to offer you money instead, if they want to get this resolved. And they're going to fight you tooth and nail to keep from bringing you back. That's not to say it can't be done. We've done it before. We do it somewhat often. But it is a lot more work. There's a lot more risk. It is much more difficult. And the employers, if they have good counsel, will be terrified of doing it. Rightfully so. It's just the position they're in. Even if they want to do the wrong thing, even if they desperately want you back, they're still going to be afraid that if they bring you back, somebody's going to do something nasty and you're going to have a brand new case. So, Horace, don't be discouraged, but be aware that you are swimming up against the tide, against the flow of the river, so to speak, and you need to keep that in mind as you're making your way, because it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Even if they want to settle with you, it's going to be tough to get the job reinstated. If this was helpful, Horace, like, subscribe, comment down below. It helps me to help more people just like you. Take care, everybody.